Hey guys, Tkdean here once again for OverZone. I am one of the 3 hosts of this channel, and this channel is going to be about helping you guys, the beginners out there to this fine game of Overwatch, just what you need to know to get good and rank up fast in competitive. So without further ado, this is the Dorado map guide. Alright, so first off, we are on defense here. I would consider this right here where I'm standing to be a standard defensive place, because you can see the enemy from there, there, and there, right? This is one of the better places because there's not many ways that unless they go around this way. Damn it, as I fall off. As I was saying, as long as they don't go this way, which will make them come around this way, you should be okay to stand up here and defend with a standard comp, maybe a soldier, an Ana, a bastion. It depends on what team or what rank you're in. But if it works for you guys, let me know in the comments what's worked for you guys up here. I would be interested to know. This would be my standard defensive comp, or my standard defensive positioning. I've seen many people have like a Widowmaker or even their entire team stand right here. This is a bad spot because if one of you dies, you got way longer to push back from. Standing up here, you have an escape route, which is really easy. Just drop back there. That's what I would say. As this is a beginner's guide, I won't go into too much detail. Say they've got the payload to about here. I will show you right now where you should move to. Alright, so they have pushed the payload to about there. So what you're going to be doing is standing right here, or maybe even back a small bit further to give a bit of space so that your team doesn't all die. You're going to be standing up here, and you can use anybody for this example. I could have been Soldier 76, but Reinhardt is kind of the most convenient for defensive compositions. But you just stand here, and you guys need to spam bullets down into that choke. There's also another thing that I will say that you have to keep an eye on, and that is right back there. There's a wall that people jump over just up here. And if they jump over it, you're very vulnerable from behind. So that's what I'll say. Keep an eye out behind. But I've played many a game where you can just stand here and win the game out. And it's really, really awesome. You just got to keep an eye out for there. And especially back there, because people usually flank from back there. Okie dokie. So say they have moved the cart up to here. And things have gone badly for you. Your defense has crumbled up there. And they've pushed it to the checkpoint. Where you should set up is as follows. Alright, so guys, this is where I usually set up if they've gotten the first checkpoint. I would set up in and around here, as long as the cart's just about there. High ground areas like this right here are absolutely awesome. You can hold up here, you can check what's going on down there. You can see people from down there, you can see people from up there and over there. You have a lot of visibility from here, but you're actually kind of vulnerable to flankers, and I'll show you why on the attack segment. But if they have the cart just about there, shooting bullets down into them is really, it's a great strategy and might even win you a good few matches, because holding up here, you can drop down onto them and just shatter into them or whack them if you need to. Okay, so say they've gotten the cart a little farther than you had expected. They've gotten it to about there or maybe there. This is where I usually hold up. If they have it there, people can just spam bullets down, and it's a really good position to have. It's fantastic positioning because you can also keep an eye on what's going on over there. Flankers can't really get behind you too easily. You have great visibility of everything. You've both sides of this to work with, and it's really, really awesome. It's really awesome. It's just a nice standard awesome spot to hold on. But they've got the cart there, say you just hold up here and you have your team stand behind you, or Or if you are part of the standing behind team, you just shoot bullets down into them, and it's really awesome. And if you need to, you can drop onto them, swing in, shoot in, do whatever you do, but do it as a team. Alright, so say they've gotten the cart to this far, and you're really starting to panic now. Don't panic too much. Don't leave the game, whatever you do. I have a kind of a foolproof tip to holding on this point, which is absolutely great. Unless your enemy team is really coordinated, which most teams on ladder aren't, you're going to have a great time. So stand in here. And why I say that is because you're blocking one of the choke point entrances. This is one of the most common entrances used. And if you're standing here and you're blocking that, they're going to be forced to go through there or forced to go through there. In which case, if they're not coming up through here, you can just stand up here, have your team shoot into them, use the pillar for cover if you need to recharge your shield. But if you have it here, you can just fire into them. Especially there, you have a good view of them. You can just keep shooting into them. It's really awesome. It's a great spot to hold from. But if this spot gets compromised, my backup spot would be up here. This is a great spot to hold from. You can have your soldier or whoever your main damage dealer is, your main ranged damage dealer, stand up here, a soldier, McCree, Hanzo, Genji, whoever, and the rest of your team just stand in here. If the payload's there, you just shoot down, and if it's getting too far, you just drop down and you start smashing people. It's really awesome. If you can pull a defense up there off perfectly, it's great. It's absolutely great. And apart from that, if they've gotten it to about here, you kind of just have to hold up here. You kind of just have to hope for the best at that spot, at that time. So on to attack. Alrighty, so you're on attack now. This is my favorite part of Dorado, because I'm going to change to my favorite class, or my favorite hero, Tracer. Alright, so this is what I usually do on Dorado. I'll come through here as my team pushes up there, and it is a really awesome spot, because if you play it right, you kind of can't be seen from up there. You can a little bit from here, and if you crouch you're definitely going to get seen, but you can't be seen from up there. As you come up here, then you have free reign on whoever's standing there. If there's nobody standing there, you can just spam some damage, recall if you need to, keep shooting, and it's really awesome. It's a really good spot. You can recall or deflect or do whatever defensive thing you have. But this is one of my personal favorite flanks. Another one would be in through here. You come down here, and then you go left behind them, and look where you found yourself. You found yourself, if they aren't holding up here, you found yourself on a high spot. You can shoot down here. If they are holding up here, you found some great room to distract them. You can distract a Reinhardt up here for sure if you shoot him enough, and your team can just spam some damage in, and it is awesome. You kind of pinch them. More standard, or if you're part of the death ball up here, you're going to be shooting up to here, or you're going to be shooting up to here and stuff like that. Those are my two favorite flanks, especially for Tracer. Okay, so now you're playing as Genji, let's say, or somebody with a grapple or a jump ability. Even a Winston can be a very good flanker, believe it or not, and a Reaper up here, and a Junkrat. You know, anybody can get up here. But this is the perfect spot. You just climb or dash or jump or bomb jump or whatever, and you're behind the enemy team. This is one of the best spots for if you've pushed them up to about here. If you push the cart up to about here, you can just spam some damage if you need to. You can stand on these, because these make you a really hard target. You can even stand on the well if you have that ability. It's really cool. It's an awesome spot. Getting up above that wall is really recommended. Okay, so say your team's pushed the cart to here, I guess, right? That's perfect. Now, you have another flank that you can take. You have two, pretty much, flanks that you can take, which are, oh, damn it, which are awesome. You can take the flank around there, alright, which will be open, and you can take the flank around there. I'll show you that flank first, the right-hand flank, which I use in most of my games. That one I don't use too often, but this one is always used. So if I'm somebody who can't get up without a wall climb, I'll use the stairs, of course. Now that you're up here, you have free reign on them over there. You have free reign from in here. And if they're holding from back here or so, you have free reign from up here. And it is absolutely disgustingly awesome. I love holding on Dorado up there. It's my favorite spot. Now, you've pushed the card up to here. Well done, by the way. That is pretty awesome. I'm glad you've done that. But now, up here on these windows is a great place for a high noon if you have a McCree. I will just say, from personal experience. But holding up here, you can shoot down through them. That's given that you've gotten them off this high ground. But you can shoot down here. Can stand over here. You can shoot down here as well. If someone comes up here, you can shoot, and get out of there. Depending on who you are, of course. Like a soldier can run, Tracer can blink, you know, Hanzo can. Alright, so you push the cart to the second checkpoint. This is where things for attacker teams get tricky, right? Because this last point is very defender orientated, and there aren't very many flanks. Like there's a flank here that you can go through and stuff like that. There aren't very many attacker flanks on this side, and I'll go through them right now. Okay, so say you're coming down from this high ground. If you've taken my advice from the first bit of this video and held here, going in here as a team isn't recommended. If you can, and if you know you're better than the enemy team, go for it. I mean, seriously, go in and wreak havoc. But if you're not, I would go for a bit more of an intelligent flank. I'd go in around here. So you're going to your left from the church. You're going down here, and you're going to go around here, because then you can spam damage. So say you have one person come this way and your whole team goes, well, the other 5 of your team goes that way. You're kind of making a pincer for them, which is the most effective kind of thing that you can do, but it's still very defender orientated. It's very hard to push this. If they don't have this area up here, you can just go up here, and for sure, for definite, you're gonna have to use a few ultimates up here, you know, definitely, because this area, if they're holding it right, is impossible. Alright, so say you've gotten that far and you've pushed the card up to about here. Alright, so and you have control of this high ground. This is perfect. You've pretty much won at this stage if you're the attackers, because you have there, and if there's a defender, and if they've wiped you, and if there's like a defender healers up here, you can just climb up here and just spam damage into them. Dorado is very attacker orientated up till about here, and then it gets really tough for the attackers. Especially if they're running like a Symmetra Torb cheese or something like that. You know? A bit of silly cheese. But it's still doable if you coordinate yourself right. Team communication is the main thing, and I'll be going over that in another video if I'm allowed by the other hosts. I'm sure I will be, but you know, I'll definitely be going over that. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. This has been Tkdean for OverZone, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you liked it. You know what to do if you disliked it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.